Hello and welcome to TSD Service Spotlight, where we spotlight those making a difference within the Troy School District. Today's guest is someone many know for a very important reason: snow days. Yes, she is the snow day queen, but trust me when I say that's only about 5% of what she actually does. Behind the scenes, she is one of the most essential connectors in our entire district. From sharing critical updates to managing district-wide communication and running the behind-the-scenes operations of the SSAB, she ensures students, families, and administrators are always informed, heard, and connected. I am so excited to welcome Mrs. Montante, the Communications Director of the Troy School District. Hello, Mrs. Montante.
Hello, thank you for having me.
To start off, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role within the Troy School District?
Sure, absolutely. I am lucky enough I'm working on year 3 here in Troy. Honored to be in the role that I'm in. Previous to Troy, I have served in many roles in education. I've been in education about 30 years now, and I have been a counselor for homeless youth, adjudicated youth coming out of the correctional facility. I was a literacy teacher, PE teacher, and a 3rd grade teacher as well, an administrator in a school. And then aside from my experience in education, I worked in marketing and PR and communications for Fortune 500 companies. And then slowly, one of the things you get to learn as you work in education is that I am an elementary teacher by heart, and I love children's books. And so I am an author of a children's book called Booing, a Halloween Tradition. And then I also started my nonprofit organization. So I'm the president of the nonprofit Boo Project here in Oakland County. And I am also the vice president of something called OXPRA, and that is all of the Oakland County communicators in this area. And then I am, obviously, as you mentioned, I'm the director of communications and strategic initiatives for the school district. So I am lucky enough to work with an amazing team. I have, as you can see, right, through our podcast here in Creative Guild, Mr. Butcher, who is behind the scenes. You can't see him right now. He's one of my amazing team members that I am lucky to work with. But my team does everything from marketing all of the school district programs, so things like International Academy, which you go to. We do marketing for the preschool, kindergarten, school of choice, a variety of things. We do all of the public relations, social media, so all of our social media channels such as Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. We manage all of those. Website management for all of the schools. We have our Creative Guild, as I mentioned. We also do creative content. So any of the flyers or that information that goes home, my team also does. We do a variety of the branding, district-wide communications, as you mentioned. And we do a lot of district-wide events, such as MLK Day, which you're a big part of. And Teacher of the Year, National Merit Reception, so a variety of different large district events. And then strategic initiatives. So we have a variety of strategic initiatives that I work with Dr. Michalski close on. So our Career Accelerator program that we launched a few years ago here in the district. Our SSAB, which you are a part of, Business Council and Business Roundtable.
So service is obviously a very big part of our district, as you've mentioned with so many of the initiatives that you've helped launch here in Troy, and it's also very clearly personal to you. So how did your own experiences with service shape your path into communication and leadership?
That's a great question. I have always been a big supporter of teaching kids to give back, or teaching people to give back. I think that's a very important thing in our society. We live in a society that is very egocentric these days, right? And people focus on themselves and not others. And so I feel that it's important to sometimes take the spotlight off yourself and think about others, right? So teaching kids to do that when they're younger is so important, right? So we try to do that at the elementary all the way through high school. I work mainly with high schoolers in this realm, obviously with SSAB, but a lot of it is modeling the behavior, right? So I do a lot of it outside of work, right? I started doing a lot of it with my book. I started by working with different Boy Scout and Girl Scout troops and brownies, teaching them about paying it forward, doing something nice for someone, giving back. And then it grew into providing boo kits and bags of goodies to those in the hospital who couldn't go trick-or-treating or go, to any Halloween activities. So it was a way for us to bring Halloween to them. And so I'd say for me, it started with some of that work, really. And then once I came to Troy, I realized what an impact and what a focus Troy has on service and how important it is. That's one of the things that really struck me when I came here, and I loved that because it was near and dear to my own heart. So I really try to push into that with our students.
And you've seen service from both sides, both as an administrator and as someone who works very closely with students. So from an administrative lens, what does meaningful service look like?
I think for me, a big part of it is teaching students how to give back, because part of it is finding the organizations that need help, right? So it's finding the organizations, finding the people that need help, and being able to provide that assistance, whatever that is, whether it's a drive that we do, internally, or whether it is MLK Day of Service, or whether it's feeding, folks, whatever that may be, it's figuring out the need and then matching the need with some of our actions, what those actions may be. And really, I'd say it's the adults being able to provide our students with the tools and the avenues to succeed, right? So my goal is to pave the way for you, right, and students like you to be successful, whatever that means. If you come to me and you say, "Hey, Mrs. Montante, what do you think about this? What do you think about this idea?" And I say, "Okay, let's talk it through. Let's figure out how we can make that happen. What do you need? What do we need to do? Do we need to raise money? Do we need, right? Do we need to do a drive? For example, we did our Amazon drive for SSAB this year for MLK Day. What do we need to be successful? And helping the team or the students determine what those are, and then helping them with the avenues to make those happen."
Yes, and you very clearly do that. I know from SSAB, especially last year when we launched the students versus staff basketball game, Mrs. Montante was right on it. She was ready to support us and ready to just do everything to help us be successful. So having that kind of backup ready and available for us was such a nice thing to have as a student, because I know I can make an impact because I have someone amazing like Mrs. Montante on my side. So beyond SSAB and the other programs, how do you help empower students to serve, maybe more specifically within those initiatives?
So I think that part of it is teaching students to lead with intention, right? Or serve with intention. So making those meaningful connections somehow, whatever that may be, right? So for example, I asked you and our SSAB team, you guys said you wanted to reach out to Grace Centers of Hope, right, as one of our organization. I want you guys to reach out and ask them what their needs are, right? So it's that intentional connection, right? Because sometimes I don't think students have the opportunity to make those connections or to be the voice always. Sometimes they do the activities behind the scenes, but they're not on the front lines dealing with the other adults out in our community. So I think that that's an important piece. I also think that this year we brought back advisory into SSAB, which is an important component that we sort of, it was something that they did a long time ago, and sort of, MLK Day grew huge and other things kind of took priority. And so some of the feedback that we received was that we want to bring advisory back. And I feel like we've had several advisory sessions this year that have been really helpful for us as administrators. Your input and your feedback is so valuable in all of the things that we do, right? So for example, we talked about the cell phone policy, right? We have cell phone policy at all levels at our schools. And the feedback that you're able to provide us helps us determine, okay, where are some holes in our, right, either whether it's messaging, whether it's our staff understanding, whatever it may be, right? What are areas that we can improve upon? How can we make the system better for our students that are experiencing it, right?
Yeah.
So those that piece of feedback in advisory has been phenomenal for us. I have taken your feedback into multiple meetings, right, with other individuals that this directly impacts, and said, right, this is what a group of students had to say about this policy or this procedure or this, right, safety and security came and spoke with us, or budget, right? We talked about budget last time, so. All of those pieces, I think, are integral for us to hear student voice, right? That's important for us. And so empowering students to be open and honest and give us feedback, right, is a way that we can assist students in the system. And I think also, as I stated before, the more we provide you or the more we can open the doors for you to be successful, the better off you'll be, right? You all have, especially our board in SSAB, has really stepped up to the plate, right? And we put you in leadership roles and we give you a very large task to accomplish, or many large tasks to accomplish outside of school that, you take your own time, right, to do, because we know you can do it, right? So I think part of it is having the faith in that our students are very capable and very willing and amazing when we provide them with the opportunity to shine.
That's so beautiful. I love that's so true with me too, because I've seen you firsthand how you really you hold our hand throughout the process, but you also let it go at times too, to let us learn how to serve our community. And having a role model like you and the rest of the administration within Troy is so special, because we do get to really learn how powerful it is when we get to step up and make an impact by realizing there are gaps within our community that we can help fill. Could you talk a little bit about the programs that you have helped offer within Troy that empower students?
So I'd say the biggest one is probably SSAB. I assist Dr. Macheski with that. That's a big one. Most recently, we launched our Career Accelerator program, so that's our CAP program, and that is for juniors. So we've narrowed it down over the last couple of years. It started with juniors and seniors, and we've realized that seniors are very busy in the spring, right? And so we've changed that to just be juniors. And that provides pre-internship opportunities for students in the world of work. And so it's teaching students things that I learned along the way in my career. So teaching kids about how do you introduce yourself when you meet someone? You shake their hand and you say, "Hi, it's nice to meet you," and you make eye contact, right? You explain what your name is. You always come prepared with 3 things that you can talk to anyone about, and whether that's sports or the weather or something exciting that happened to you over the weekend, right? A variety of different small conversation topics. We teach students about what's appropriate with technology, right? How do you handle your phone? How do you make a phone call when you're in a work environment? A whole variety of things that many of us learned along the way over many years that we hope to give students a leg up and have them become leaders in the world of work. So in our variety of businesses in Troy. So we have over 50 businesses, over 100 students this year in the CAP program, which is pretty exciting. So that's been a big initiative for us, for our students to really step up and impress upon our businesses. And several of them, so for example, last year, we had 72 students in the program, and several of our businesses said that our students were much more prepared than a lot of their college interns. So it tells me, okay, well, we're doing something right? We're teaching our kids how to be leaders, how to speak up, even if you're shy, even if you're nervous, even if you're, that it puts you out of your comfort zone. We make them, right, in class, I make them stand up, find someone in the room that you don't know, give a handshake, give a welcome, introduce yourself, and start with a 3-minute conversation. We do it every time we meet. And so I tell the students, I'm like, my job is to make you uncomfortable, right? And that's okay. It's okay to be uncomfortable. That's when you grow. That's when you're learning. And so many students have changed sort of their career paths or their college trajectory based on the CAP program, which is, you don't always know when you're 18 what you want to do with the rest of your life. So I think it's a wonderful experience for our students to really learn to lead and grow as learners. So that's a wonderful experience that we've been leaning into. And then the other piece is it's not so student related, but our business council and our business roundtables. We have a business roundtable of executives that come together that give us feedback on a variety of things we're doing for the district. So our bond work, right? They help to build our CAP program. And our business council is a smaller, it's actually a larger group of individuals, but they come together and they also give us feedback and learn about how we can partner with them. So to provide our students with other opportunities that they may not have elsewhere. So it provides opportunity, in a different way. It's a lot of behind the scenes work that our students don't necessarily see, but the goal in that is that our business partnerships and our opportunities for students just are expanded.
Yeah, and a lot of your work is really behind the scenes. And I've had the privilege of working with you through SSAB, and you've been an inspiration for me for the quiet and intentional way you lead. Mrs. Montante leads with so much organization and foresight and obviously genuine care for students. And her Google Drive, for instance, is genuinely one of the most organized places on earth. How did this organization and service and leadership style develop for you over time with your experiences in service and communication?
So I think that a lot of it, in my role, I deal a lot in last minute things, right? So a snow day is a last minute thing. Or if there's a situation at a school, that could be a last minute thing that I'm helping communicate on, assisting with, right? Providing support to a principal or secretaries or teachers or, whoever it may be. I think that because a lot of my normal job happens last minute, I don't want the rest of my job to be last minute. So I'm a big planner. I really like to be organized. And that way it's not stressful. I have enough stress in my daily life that I don't want to add more. So I really try to push my team to be as organized as possible. That's important to me. That's a big one. I also think that I was introduced, right? Carrie Birmingham was the previous communications director and built an amazing SSAB group with Dr. Macheski before me, right? So I inherited this amazing thing and just helped it blossom, right? That's the goal, is you try to improve it, you try to make it better. And so, you walk into a wonderful situation. I walked into an amazing team that was already doing wonderful things, such as Mr. Burns and Mr. Butcher, right? They are the experts at podcasting. They're the experts at video. I don't pretend to know all of those things. I trust them to bring those things to life, to make those happen for our district. I trust, Allison Hendry to manage that newsletter, right, every week. I trust Melissa Verdun to know what's best for our website, right? So really trusting in those that work for you, I'd say is a big part of it. And then also pushing into our students, right, where our students, we know, right, through the Creative Guild, Mr. Butcher has, right, 30 plus students that work for the Creative Guild. And we know that if we let our students lead, they will. They'll show up and they'll do amazing things. And we know that. We've done it for years. And so I'd say just, I do the same with students as I do my staff. I try to give them the avenues and the tools and whatnot to do their job. They know what they want to do. Mr. Butcher has a plan in his head about what he wants to do, or Mr. Burns, same thing, right? I just try to help them provide the avenue, the tools, the whatever you need to make that happen. So I think part of it is providing those avenues for those individuals as well, and supporting those along the way.
So it sounds like a lot of what your role is unlocking the potential that people, especially students, might not realize that they have. Mm-hmm. So what's something students might not realize about the impact that their voices actually have?
I think one of the things that I've noticed here, specifically in Troy, is that student voice carries a lot of weight for us in Troy, which is wonderful. It should carry a lot of weight. You're the ones experiencing, right, school. You're the ones we're here for, right? So I think that that is so important, and the more that we focus on that, the better off we are, the better educators we can be. So it's listening, it's supporting, it's doing all the things. I feel like I'm a parent to lots and lots of kids, right? And whatever that means, however I need to show up, I will show up. And same with, I feel like my staff does the same thing. They will show up, however our students need, right? But I think recognizing that is such an important, and valuing that is right, better than anything.
And for the students listening who want to serve their communities but might not know where to start, what advice would you give them?
So I'd say if you're looking to provide service, there's a couple pieces of advice. One is start small, right? If you're looking to do something on your own, start small. Big things or grand things happen over time, right? Or join another group that's already providing services to learn. Maybe you don't know what area you want to focus on. So joining others, or find other like-minded individuals to join you on that journey. So for example, my board, I have a board for my nonprofit, are all the women that helped me boo at the hospitals to begin with when it was just me. And it's all the women that have been doing it with me for years, right? I found like-minded individuals that enjoy the same things as me and want to give back and want their children to learn to give back, right? So sometimes it's just finding the right group, finding the right niche, and do something you're passionate about, right? I feel like that's when you know it's not work anymore, is when you love what you do. Like I love my job. I've probably told you that before. So it doesn't feel like work to me. It feels like something I love doing, I enjoy doing. And that's the same thing with service. Make it something you enjoy doing, so it's not work. It's something you want to go do.
That's so beautiful. Do you have any final words that you'd like to leave our audience with in terms of service or leadership, or anything that you think is important as they go off into the world and try to make a difference?
I'd say that, take time to think of others, right? Because sometimes, like I said, we only think about ourselves. So take time out of your day, your week, your month, to always figure out a way to give back to others. And whether that's being a good friend, or whether that's service through a community, or, right? It can be a whole host of things. Figuring that out. And I would say that never stop wanting to learn. Be curious, right? Be curious about the world out there. Learn new things, try new things, because the hope is that you find something you're so passionate about, that you love doing, that it doesn't seem like it's work at all.
Again, you're so eloquent. The answer was so beautiful. Mrs. Montante, thank you so much for joining me today, and for everything you do behind the scenes to empower students across Troy. From amplifying student voices, delivering the most anticipated phone calls of the school year, your impact reaches much further than people realize. To everyone listening, the next time you hear an announcement, open an email, or celebrate a snow day, remember there is a whole lot of care, service, and intention behind it. This has been TSD Service Spotlight. Thank you for listening, and now, go make a difference.